that, what do you guys think needs to be done to try to help, other than I guess recruit better players to black colleges, get the guys who are already at black colleges in position to improve their draft stocks? Starting with Chris.
Well, you have to have the voices in the room, honestly, and we've all there. I mean, it's been years now since. I mean, I don't know how long the Rooney Rule has been in place, but I think we need to stop looking at that as some landmark legislation and honestly just look at it as, I guess, a way to quiet the voices of people who have called out racism and the good old boy network in professional sports. I mean, yes, it's a nice thing. You have to interview at least one minority candidate. But how many people are just like that token interview? Like the Commanders literally pulled this whole sham of going to Detroit to interview. Shucks, I don't want to say Dre Bly. I can't remember who. Aaron Glenn. You're going to Detroit to interview Aaron Glenn, and ended up with, picking Dan Campbell anyway. Why you're picking the defensive coordinator of a team that gave up 45 points in a home playoff game is beyond me. That's another story. But you have to have the voices in the room. You have to have like Doug Williams, or even down to Shaq Harris, who was a black quarterback. Of course, a black quarterback. Of course, he's a quarterback. He's black. He went to Grambling. Him and Charlie Joyner were great in the late 60s. But yeah, Shaq Harris was not only a quarterback for 13 seasons in the NFL, but he was a player personnel director for the Jacksonville Jaguars for years. You need people like Shaq Harris not to be in not just being the minority in the room. You need them. You need to have more people like that in who HBCU folks, going to, personnel positions to be able to say, okay, we need to take more looks at kids at HBCUs because you will find plenty of talent there. That's where it has to start.
Yeah, Jarrett, what do you think? As someone who follows this stuff kind of close, how do you think that gap can be bridged to get more guys in the league?
Well, I think we could get more retired pro talent on these coaching staffs, or if not on the coaching staff, to be consultants to these players. If you look at the main areas where HBCUs are, where all of our talent is, Texas, you got Louisiana, we got Florida, we got Maryland, we got Pennsylvania, we got all these places where NFL teams are. Why can't we get, former or current NFL players to work out with our HBCU guys? Why can't we get these HBCU guys at these pro camps and, to learn under, guys who are formerly or currently in the league? We have Ray Lewis who and Ed. I know all the stuff that we say about Ed Reed, but he wants to be a part of the development of the players coming up. Have them do some workouts with the guys to teach them about playing the safety position. One thing you can't say about Ray Lewis or Ed Reed, you can't say that they don't have knowledge of the game, because they do. You see, the videos of them talking about how they watch film and how they prepare for games. Our HBCU guys can benefit from that. We got Jameis Winston, who is a contributor to the HBCU Legacy Bowl. Have him, mentor our young quarterbacks who are coming up. Have him mentor Jeremy Musa. Have him mentor Davius Richard, Donovan Reddick, and all of our guys who are coming up in the NFL draft. You had Ricky Williams, who said that he would only coach at a HBCU. So have him work out with all of our running backs who are draft eligible. You know what I mean? I think that would be the biggest thing. Have them learn from guys who have been through the wars. Have them learn from the guys who know what it's like to prepare for an NFL game. In some cases, know what it's like to prepare for the biggest game that you could possibly play in the NFL, in the Super Bowl. And it doesn't have to just be NFL players that they can learn from. Learn from guys who have played in the CFL. Learn from the guys who have played in the UFL. We have plenty of HBCU guys who have played in the CFL and the UFL. How about have those guys come back and mentor our guys who are playing now, and to help bridge that gap, to learn about what it's like to make it to the next level and to have success at the next level. I know we got, former NFL talent on our coaching staffs. We got Eddie Robinson, who's with with Alabama State. We got Eddie George, who was with Tennessee State. We had Hugh Jackson, who was with Grambling State. Whether you want to talk about his record in the NFL or not, you can't deny that it's not easy making it as an assistant or head coach at the NFL level. So we got to get more guys who know what it's like to prepare at the pro level to mentor our guys to help bridge that gap, and like Chris said, to have that influence inside these NFL locker rooms and in the front offices. Look at the Detroit Lions. They have their GM went to I forget which HBCU, but I know he went to an HBCU. So, and that's primarily the reason why James Houston is where he is. And that's why that team is thriving now, because he has had that influence. And the New Orleans, if you look at the New Orleans Saints, they have been a huge contributor to promoting the HBCU Legacy Bowl. I know they're a partner, but still, they have done a great job promoting the HBCU Legacy Bowl and broadcasting it and making sure that their fan base knows about it, and they're getting their team excited about it and looking to see who could potentially be one of the next stars on their roster. So I think more influence of former and current pro stars would go a long way to helping our HBCU guys bridge the gap.
I think your points, both you, Chris and Jarrett, are well taken. And I was thinking about it when you guys were talking, like, yeah, it's good to, like, if we can get some more mentorship for guys, like, after they declare for the draft, to prepare for these workouts and try to get their numbers up. But for me and my money, it kind of starts, like, while they're in school. Like, what resources do they have in school to get better, to get better 40 times, to be much stronger? I mean, they can't be any taller. They can't control that, but, like, how's the training table? How's their nutrition? Are they getting, like, proper workouts? Like, do they have, like, everything that they possibly need to better themselves as college players, and then if they want to make transitions to the NFL, do that too? And, like, speaking like a bunch of scouts, that's, like, the one thing they said, like, black colleges, like, they like that component of having enough resources to able to prepare those guys while they're in school to be NFL draft ready. And I think, like, while we can say, well, we need a pro coach to go in there and teach them all these drills and kind of coach them up, that's one thing. But, like, they can't overcome that other stuff that only comes with, like, 4 years or 5 years of development over time. And doing it, like, over just one offseason might not be enough to get those guys the shots that they probably think they deserve.